Okay, so now we're gonna hook up the power for the CB, and what I'm looking for here is two slots. You see, there's a lot of slots here available, and what I'm going to use is just like one of these. It's called an ADA circuit, and basically what this does is you can find a slot to put this in, or if you need a slot to put this in, you can pull like this 10 amp fuse out right here, and it turns this slot into two slots. Okay, this is really important. You can't use one that's over 10 amps. So like this 30 amp one here, you can't use it. This 20 amp one here, you can't use it. This can only do 10 amps or less. So, but like I said, you have a lot of open slots here. So what you're looking for is, for the CB, is you've got, I don't know if you can see that or not, the lights might be shining on it, but you've got an orange wire and a red wire. Now the red wire, you need to connect that to an accessory slot here in the fuse panel. The accessory slot is a slot that only has power when the key is actually on. And you're going to take the orange wire and you're going to connect that to constant power. So that means that you're looking for a slot that has power regardless of whether the key is in it, on, or not. So what I use to find that is this handy dandy little tool here. A lot of you have seen it before. This here is basically, I just connect it up here to a bolt that's ground, and when you complete the circuit with a hot spot, what happens is you light it up when you connect that circuit, when you complete it. So that slot there is a good slot. This one here seems to be a good one, but don't let that fool you, because sometimes, I'm going to stick the key in and it's going to get a little noisy. You turn that accessory key on, so now the car is on, and sometimes when you check these, it may actually turn it off. I don't know why, but sometimes it does. So what I'm looking for right now is a slot that's lit up. So I've got it lit up here. So I've got one lit up, and what I'm looking for is when I turn that key off, and it's kind of hard to do, but when I turn that key off, I want that to go off. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of set this up right here. Well, boy, I don't think I can do it. Well, let's try that one more time. So right here, I'm getting light, right? So what I'm looking for is when I turn the key off, is I lose that light, which I do. So that will be a 12-volt accessory slot right there. So that right there, I'm going to connect my red wire to. So that makes things simple. Over here, right there, let's see, let's move over here. Right here, I've got power to it. You can kind of see the light there shining. If I turn the key off, I still have power, whether it's on or off. So I'm going to use this one here and this one here. kind of hard to see, but that's how you find what you're looking for as far as accessories and constants. So this one here and this one here are the ones I'm going to use. Alright, so I added the two ATA circuits. I used, the fuses I used in there were 3 amp fuses, very small fuses. The reason I did that was because when you look at the inline fuses here, on the unit, when you look at the inline fuses here, they're very small, 1 amp and 2 amp. So I'm using the smallest fuses I had in here, and I don't think it's going to cause a problem. The ATA fuse can take up to 10 amps, so I think it's only going to draw what it needs to draw. So I've got it all hooked in. Now, I know I've mentioned it several times already to not operate this unit without the antenna, but I do need to make sure that I've got some measure of power to the unit. So what I'm going to do is, oh, I'm honking my own horn there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of put this in place, and then I can just check it really quick. So that's what I'll do. So I'm just going to pause it right here. Well, let's see. Let's just go ahead and plug it in and find out. I don't think you should have to have it on. But, yep, there it is. So, I've got sound.
Northwest, 4
Yep.
kilometers per hour.
There it is. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to have it on no more. Not until I get it checked. Okay, so that's what it is. I got to have the microphone plugged in to get speaker. So it must be completing a circuit somehow. So that's it. That's in. So now I'm going to just start buttoning everything up and putting it all away. Like I said, down here is where I put my ATA circuits in for it. Here and here. They're working properly. I had to ground it, and I grounded it right back in here. You can kind of see back in there, there's a ground, and I just used a self-tapping screw. Grounds them right really nice, easy to get to it when I use my drill. And you just put your in connection on it, and you just tap it in somewhere. So when I'm back, we'll see the whole thing completed. Well, actually no, because we got to do the SWR meter. So I guess I'll be back for one more little go around with this. We'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I'm at the final step here. I took a long drive, probably about 20-30 minutes, to get away from the city and out into the a flat, treeless area. It's raining now, so you can see I'm surrounded by absolutely nothing. I'll roll this down. Away from power lines, away from trees, away from pretty much anything that would interfere with the signal of the antenna. Now, there's videos out there on how to tune the antenna. I'm not going to go through it, but the idea is basically this. I've got my SWR meter hooked here on the back. This one is coming from the antenna. This one is my jumper cable, which is going from the SWR box and going to the back of the CB. The idea here is simple. You turn CB on. You put it to channel 1. You have your SWR meter. And let's see. And you have your mic. When you key it, you put it on. I'm sorry, I forgot here because I just got finished doing it. So you put it on that forward. You key your mic. You make sure that that's to set. Then while still holding it, your mic, you set it to reference, and then you look at your signal. So that's a very low signal. You want to be below 2, optimally below 1.5. So that's on channel 1. Then what you do is you turn it to channel 40. Turn this back to forward. Okay. You key the mic. You make sure it's on set, and you can adjust that by turning this dial here. You can move that needle back and forth until you're right on set. I'm going to switch it now down to reference, and it's about 1.3. The other one was about 1.2. The idea here is that I'm below 1.5 all the way from channel 1 to channel 40, so I'm good to go. That's a tuned antenna. I can sit out here and mess with it and try to fine tune it, but I'm not going to. It's certainly within parameters, and if your channel 40 is greater than channel 1, so let's say channel 40 is 2.5 and channel 1 was 1.5, then that indicates that the antenna is too long. So you need to shorten it. And with the Fire Stick, it's just at the very top, there's like a little screw that you do that with. And it's raining, but I will attempt to show you that anyway. Let me get out. I'm going to pull this weather cap off. So what you do is you loosen this up and you turn this in or out, and that lengthens or shortens it. So that's good to go. I don't need to move it. I'm just gonna put my weather cap back on here. That keeps it secure. And that's a tuned antenna. Yeah, get back in here. So this is ready. I'm going to remove the SWR meter and stow that away. And I'm going to put this all together and we'll get a final shot.